Hello, hello, guys. Hello. Good morning. Um, so I wanted to do this update because, yeah, it's been a long time since I last updated you guys on video. I hope you had a good time. To me, it wasn't the best time because I was on holiday and this move happened, and yeah. So anyway, let's look and update everything. I'm gonna give you a bigger update than the previous one. So bear with me. Um, so let's talk first about higher time frames. Okay. So let's look at the monthly because a lot of people are saying this is a bear market and blah blah blah. Okay. I understand. I understand that there was lower time frame indications, and also if you pay attention to moving averages, you can say that below 50 it's already a bear, whatever. I just don't use them at all. So I guide myself by market structure. Market structure, in my view, is created by volume and liquidity, and I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna talk about that in a bit. I just want to approach this now in a way that most people look at, so we kind of get on the same ground. Okay, so people are saying that this is a bear market. Okay, to me, we are not in confirmed structure bear market. You can see here we are about to break this structure. That's for sure, by the looks of it. But we have not yet broken. This is to me the intact structure here. So until we break this, I cannot say that this is a bear market structure. I can't. But you can say, oh, but look at this fractal from 2001, 2002. Yeah. Well, okay. I don't trade fractals because I do not believe, especially, and this is also the reasoning why four-year cycle for me it's harder to understand now than it was previous cycles because that was created on a different liquidity environment. Okay, and I just can't believe that in such an immature market that was back in the day, like all crypto market was around 30 billions when I stopped mining Ethereum, for example. So we've come a very, very long way in terms of liquidity. I cannot believe that the same structure and the same um, market liquidity environment replicates the same price actions when it grows this exponentially. Okay, I just can't can't understand that. Okay, I'll give you for free if that's what you believe in. If that turns out to be right, then you're right, and congratulations to you. But I never look. I look backwards to learn, but I'm always trying to find edges on the future. Okay, so to me, this is a different environment. Okay, this is why I had a different idea. So let's go back to this. You can say, if you look at this, then you know that this is a repetition, and you could already tell that this was starting a bear market. Okay, good for you. If you knew, then you caught all of this and you are set to go. Good. Okay. First of all, I wasn't here. I wasn't around when this happened. I was doing other things in my life, but I got here. We were already on this depression, and to me, this is simple. No structure was broken yet, and we can go to weekly time frames. Of course, if you go to lower time frames, you will always find a market structure break. But a lower time frame market structure break cannot proceed in terms of strength and impactfulness like a higher time frame. Okay, I know that higher time frames are built on lower time frames results, but if you have a structure break on a weekly, it's infinitely more stronger than on a 15 minutes. We can all agree about that. Okay, so yeah, I don't need to talk about that. So for me, the structure remains intact here. Again, the weekly. Bear in mind, we are about to break this structure for sure. For sure. I don't know if it's for sure. It looks like that we are about to break this structure, and there's something else people are talking about, which is the sweep of this liquidity to then resume. Yes, I can see that. I play that on lower time frames multiple times. I've showed you many setups that I've taken on scalps with that setup. However, to me, on a higher time frame, it's different. And why? I'm going to show you this on my system in a bit, but I want to talk generalized now. Okay. To me, this structure is a lot stronger than this. Why? Because markets are built on liquidity structure, at least in my view. Okay. They are built on liquidity structure. And my liquidity ranges are simple. They are formed every week, every previous week, based on volume and liquidity footprints that are left for the market. So basically, let's say yesterday ended another week. So this previous week volume and liquidity creates a footprint that it's a range that it's going to be retested forward. Okay. And last night I just went back into the lab and tried to figure out on my data how I could improve my system and how I could improve my interpretation of it. And I found some curious things. Okay. I found, for example, a correlation between testing time and the period that it's created. So there's an average time for the extremes of that range to be tested after they are created. Okay, that averages 629 candles on the 45 minutes. So other liquidity pools or dark pools or whatever you want to call them take a lot longer to be touched, and this is a discrepancy. Okay, and this is why what I realized is very interesting is that the longer it takes for a dark pool to be retested, the more magnet it becomes. Okay, the stronger the pool will be. So you can see here that, for example, this pool that was retested here, I have a signal here, was 1,976 candles waiting to be retested. Okay, so this was a pretty strong magnet. This one is still waiting above that. Okay, and you see that there's always an average time for them to be retested. So the longer it takes for pools to be retested, the more magnet they become. And I've talked about this 84 500. It was waiting 1,237 bars to be touched. Another one below at 83 800 was waiting 1,016. So you can see that there are a few pools on this range that have been waiting for a very, very long time to be retested. Okay. Because when we created them, we just pushed up and we never retested them. Okay. So this is important. This is significant because it's an area that hasn't been retested for a long time. So I didn't have this previously. I just built this. So, and I just found these correlations. So I couldn't tell before that. Um, but I can see now exactly on the chart why I didn't want this to happen, or I wasn't expecting this to happen. Okay. I wasn't expecting this to happen because as we were talking in let's go back to the weekly, for example. As we were talking here, even on the weekly, and we can go to the daily afterwards, no market structure was broken yet. Okay. But these dark pools were consumed. Okay. And this is why I was not expecting this. My bullish scenario would be the structure holds, it sweeps to kill the longs, and we produce another bullish structure, similar to something like this. Okay. And this to me is a strong structure because it leaves a lot of dark liquidity pools still below with untouched, which shows a lot of strength. Okay. The moment we come to consume them, it's an alarming bell to me. Okay. Because we don't need to consume this in order to create this structure. So people are talking about the sweep liquidity for a move, but if that happens, I am not so confident that this is going to produce another bullish structure. I'm not. Okay. This is why it was not part of my bullish scenario. I think that if we do that, we're going to be retesting 90K, and I'm going to show you in a bit why 90K. Maybe even 100K. but these will be bearish tests in my opinion because we've just consumed this liquidity. We are leaving 73 behind, and I'm going to show you in a bit. And if we do it, leave it behind. And so this signals a lot of more weakness to me than this scenario, okay? Which is unfortunate. But we play whatever the market gives us, and we follow along. So let me just show you the daily as well so we can be on the same page, okay? This structure not broken yet, okay? You can say to me that you have all other sorts of reasons to call this a bear market, but in terms of structure, market structure, there is no break in structure here yet, okay? So I don't know. I think we are all agreeing about that, okay? If you think that this is a bear market already, it has to be for other reasons, right? Unless we break this. If we break this, then this becomes a lower high, then obviously this is bearish structure, bear market structure, right? But until we break this is not confirmed as a lower high, right? Because we can just go above that. And what? And then what? This is lower high and higher high? No. In my opinion, it's not. Okay. So until we break this is not considered a lower high. But when you do, this is bearish structure. So we are on the same page, I think, most of us, that there is no bearish structure yet. Of course, you can go to the 4 hours and say there is already on the 4 hours, blah, blah, blah. Guys, yeah. To me, a lower time frame does not have a bigger impact than a higher time frame structure. Okay. And I do this as well using my way of seeing the market. Okay. I'm just explaining this to you in a way that and most of you can understand, or any of you can understand. Um, so yeah, we are agreeing about that. So let's go again to my favorite time frame. Let's look at the market structure, my market structure, the way I see the market. And again, I've told you this structure is created every week through footprint on the volume and liquidity that is generated during that week. Okay. So this is to me the market structure. This is how I see it. This is how I'm able to tell a lot of the things that I've said on X by targets and numbers, specific numbers like December calls about shorting when everybody was calling for 100K, etc., etc. I'm not going to go over that. I'm not trying to claim any clout. I'm just saying that this is how I get there. This is how I do that. Okay, it's replicable. It's not something I'm coming out of the gods. It's replicable. You can learn this and you can see this. Okay, so we are leaving this pool behind, and it's longer than 1,976 candles. Okay, so this is really strong magnet at this point. I cannot believe that we've done all of this. We consumed this that I was not expecting that we needed to, and you can see the dots here showing that they are all long-term waiting touches. So then what? We're gonna leave this one behind? It's hard for me to believe that, okay? If we leave this behind now, it's going to be bearish retest, and I'm gonna short. Where I'm gonna short? I've told you 91, but it's changeable. It's dynamic, okay? Because the longer the pulls get untouched, the longer they get above the average time. So that means the stronger resistance they become. Okay. You can see all of these aquas, they have just been touched. They are still within the average time frame to be touched, to be retouched. But these ones are starting to be above average, which tells me that this is starting to become stronger resistance around this area. Okay. The longer we take in here, the more of these pools are going to become stronger resistance. Okay. Yeah, this is not a pretty scenario, to be honest, because we would need to reclaim this aqua structure very quickly and then fight this structure to reclaim it, to then even considering 100K, 102. It's like, it's a lot more harder for me to see that happening now. Okay. And also there's still liquidity pools here untouched, which means that they have been waiting to be untouched for a long time, way above average, which means this is starting to be a lot stronger resistance here, and it's going to trickle down and make stronger resistances below. So pretty hard scenario for me to see this becoming a bullish structure, almost honestly, because the longer we take, and the fact that we've taken this liquidity, if we did this and reclaimed this, then we would have more structure to hold on, and these around 98 would still be, well, no, not 998, but these first ones would still be acceptable and not easy, but it was still something that I could see us try to reclaim. But at this point, we've been so close, we didn't touch it. We can see this liquid. So yeah, this looks like shit. This looks like shit. Um, so yeah, that's my idea. That's my general idea. This is what I'm looking at. I don't know if you guys have anything else that you want me to talk about. Let me know in the comments. I'll try to approach that in a different video. Um, just wanted to give you an overall view of what happened during these 15 days. Show you how I look at the market. I look through volume and liquidity lenses. I look through these liquidity pools that are created as a range to be interacted with, and you've seen this already in a lot of my posts. It's undeniable that these pools are the what create market structure, are what create reactions. Okay, so um, this it's good. I said this. I don't believe that bad things happen for without a reason. I think there's also always something that we can learn from them, and it's good that I've taken yesterday to dive in back into the lab and look for ideas of things that I wanted to retest and backtest to see if had any correlation. And yeah, here they are. Um, so yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to say. Um, Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. This is the general update. I am not bullish anymore. Unfortunately, this is to me pretty bad. It doesn't mean that we're not going to go retest higher. We can, but I have serious doubts that then after consuming this, that we're going to have, uh, yeah, it, it, it does. Even I was just taking week off distribution or accumulation patterns. Even even if you consider that this, let's go for a higher time frame. Even if you consider that this would be a spring, sorry, yeah, I can't see it because this to me is two separate structures here. Okay, this structure and this structure are separate. They are not the same. I can't say that this is a range comparing to this. So for the for the week of distribution, or in this case accumulation, you would have to have a spring. But general, yeah, you would have one blow of top. You could have one, but again, this sounds a lot more distribution than accumulation, right? Even if you're looking at the week off pattern, yeah, yeah. People might say this could be a spring. Yeah, I have a hard time identifying this on that schematic. Yeah, it does more look a lot more like a distribution because you had these up thrusts. Um, Not a breakdown. He holds and then comes to retest and then breaks down. This is looking a lot more like distribution week off than accumulation, to be honest. Yeah, that's why this to me was different. If this was the range, and if we did something like this, upthrust, spring, and reclaim, because remember, this is the range to me. So basically, we just did tiny deviation above the range. And the reason why it's a range to me is if you look backwards, I think it's clear also in price action. In my system, it's pretty clear because I can see the dark pools that generated it. But I think it's in price action, it's also pretty clear, um, right? I think. Um, so it could be like tiny deviation above range, but yeah, the fact that we've consumed these pools, it shows a lot more weakness than I was expecting, to be honest. Um, let's see. I will update you guys with whatever happened today. I'm just in waiting mode to see if 83 is 73. Oh, let's see. Let me show you so there's no doubt. So I'm just in waiting mode, trying to see if we're going to leave this magnet behind or if we're going to test it. If we're going to test it, then I'm assuming that we're going to have a bearish retest upwards. If we don't, then bearish retest it and come back down. Right. So yeah, just waiting to see what's going to happen. This is going to be pretty strong resistance, 80.973. It's been 1,523 bar candles waiting to be retouched. It was retested and then just completely broke through. So this is going to be strong resistance here. But yeah, anyway, I'll update you guys with whatever significant happens. Um, yeah, I was wrong, and most likely I was wrong. I was wrong in my interpretation. That's 100% sure. I'm 80% sure that I was wrong in a bull market continuation, uh, or maybe 70%. So yeah, it's gonna take a little bit more convincing for me from the bull side now. So yeah, I'll update you when there's anything to update. Meanwhile, I'll just keep sheet posting, and if you guys want to know anything, if you guys want to learn anything about my system, my indicator, or anything, just comments in my X. Uh, it's kind of tiring to be talking to one or two, three people. So yeah, I would love to show you this. I would love to show you guys how this can improve any system. But yeah, just give me some feedback, guys, and I'll keep doing this. Okay. Take care. Have a nice week ahead. Take care.